Hello friends, this is Rebecca Crawl again, and I am going to show you how I do centers on my Canvas page. I came up with this a couple years ago, and seriously, it has been a game changer. So, and surprisingly enough, my kids prefer, it seems like, to do centers this way. I don't know. So, and this is also great because with social distancing and germs and all that, and you have all these manipulatives, um, it's going to be hard to keep them clean, and your school district may not want them to be using things like that. So, this is kind of a workaround. All right, so here on my Canvas page, my last year's Canvas page, I have a place that says centers. So, I teach my students that how to do centers. So, I tell them I have them all around the room, and let me show you. I prearranged this. All right, so what I have is I have my centers. I usually do about 6 to 8 of them, and I keep them out for a long time. Now, I do centers differently than other people. What I do is I want the kids to do their own thing, and I have time for them to do them, but it's not like I say, okay, student A, B, C, and D, you have to do this center or these things at this day. The way I do centers is just when you're done with stuff, what do? You work on your centers. And I always have, this isn't going to be a big surprise, but I have lots of kids, not a lot, a handful of kids, usually girls, sorry, but that will get all of their centers done after I explain them, like in the first 3 days, and then they're done. And then I usually keep them out about 3 to 4 weeks, like 3 weeks to a month, I don't know. And then I have those other kids, usually boys, that that it's like right before I have to put them up, and I'm like, okay, you have had these out every day for a month, and you still have only one done. So anyway, I feel that it teaches, again, I teach second grade, it teaches students responsibility, and that they have to do their thing when they are assigned it. I have these set out. I have like a tub that has the pieces in there. I have a file folder that has the answer sheets. I have the kind of like what would be the front cover of the center that explains it on here. So that's out, and then I have my class list here. So when they are finished, they check it out off. Now I've kind of developed a really good system that what I do is once they have finished it, they check their name off, and then I try and try really hard to keep up with grading them like every day. And if it's graded and it's correct, then I highlight it. All right. If it's not, they know they need to come and see me because I need to do some reteaching. I need to have them redo something. I need to talk to them about it. And then once I've graded it and it's correct, then I will highlight it, and then they know they're done with that center. So anyways, I also put centers in the grade book. That's just me. And also I put centers out that are things that they should know how to do. It's no new skills. It's stuff that, a lot of it's stuff that's review, all that. Okay, so that's more about me as a teacher, sorry. So anyways, so I have these out. All right, and then what I do on my Canvas page is that, and not all centers this will work, but a lot of them will, and a lot of times I choose the ones that will. I will have a place on my Canvas page that says centers. Now, I have it delineated language arts and math. I probably will not, in the upcoming year, I'm just going to have like first 9 weeks, second 9 weeks, and so on. All right, so like here it says first 9 weeks. And within that, sometimes I usually get 2 sets of centers in. I will sit and explain all of them beforehand. So anyways, and I need to remember to tell, there's also a cool feature on Flipgrid that I've learned that will also help them remember how to do the centers. Okay, that's just for me, a little pin in it there. Okay, so I put the centers on here. For instance, here are some of the centers. So there's one on singular and plural noun cookie sort. There is this back to school one right here, on telling what types of sentences. There's one on nouns. There's one on synonyms. There's one on ABC order. There's one on nouns, like putting what kind of noun in it. So these were some of the centers, okay? So then what they do, all right, so I already have recorded this from my iPad. So this is what they see. So when they get in on their iPad, they will click on it and they will get all the cards. Now on this one, now some of the centers, the way the person who, like I bought this one from Teachers Pay Teachers, and the way this person did it is that they had all the answers right next to each other, or kids could figure out what goes with what, like had all the plurals together and all the singulars together on another page. So I just put them all out on a desk and took a picture of it and put it on there. All right, now when you do this, it needs to be, notice at the top right here, it has to be a PDF, and I'll explain in a second why. So anyways, those are all the pieces that they would normally be working with, okay? And then up here, this is a tool on the iPad that allows them to write on it, and I'll show you why that is good. So let's say, backing up again, sorry. So what my students would do is, they need to do a center. So they will open up the center on their iPad. They'll go get the sheet out of that file folder, the answer sheet, and have it next to them with their iPad. Okay, and then they can either just look at it and do it, or they can use these text features right here to write on it. Like, let's say they want to cross out the ones they've done. Now, this is what's really cool too. So when they cross it out and write on this PDF, it is only on their iPad. It does not change the PDF on anyone else's. If I did it on my end, it's not going to change their PDF. It's all saved right there. So it's also nice. So if they started something and then it's time to clean up, and if they had the actual cards out, they would have to like clean up the cards and be like, oh my goodness. I will say, when that has happened, I have told, like if it's a sorting type of center, I've said, okay, take a picture of all the cards that you have sorted out and then put it away, and then you can go back and put those answers on your answer sheet from that picture. So that's something I've told my kids that they can do. Of course, their pictures are a little bit wonky, but anyways. So they can write on that, and that's what's really, really nice. They have all the pieces there. They don't have to touch the pieces. They can just cross them out and write them on their answer sheet. All right, let's go on to another one. Here's just another example. Here's one. This is a center that I actually made. It's on Teachers Pay Teachers. Plug, shameless plug. Anyways, but in it, all the cards are mixed up. So I didn't have to do anything. I just took the PDF, which I'm going to show you how to do this in a second. I just took the PDF and just deleted the pages I didn't want and uploaded it into Canvas just like this. And I'm showing you right here. They can, if they wanted to, they can write on it. On something like this, it probably would not write on it. They would just look at each card and write down their answer for it. Let's see. Here's another one. That was another one that that it was, all the answers were together. So I laid it out, took a picture. Same thing, I believe, with this one. So anyways, so that just kind of shows you on the iPad what it looks like for the kids. All right, so again, remember, they're getting their answer sheet from right here in this folder. My kids don't take any, unless they're actually doing the center with the physical pieces. They don't take the whole container back to their seat or anything. They just get the sheet and this, or if they're doing it on their iPad, they just get the sheet. Okay, so here they all are. So let me show you how to actually do this. All right, so first of all, I have one of my centers that I've made pulled up right here. So when you get a center, a lot of times it's already been saved as a PDF. So here's one that I have created that I have on Teachers Pay Teachers and that I have also used in my class. So what I do is I take this first page right here. I say File, Print, and then I'm going to say Select Page from Sidebar, so that means it's only this page, and then I do Save as PDF. And then maybe I'm going to put on my desktop right now. Always put things in folders though, that would be helpful. I have a whole folder of Canvas centers, but anyways, so I'm going to say Falling into Sentences, Cover. Save it there. All right. Then I am going to take these cards that I have. Notice what I did. Okay, so let me show you. I clicked on it, I scrolled down to the last one that I need. I clicked shift and then clicked on the last card that I would need. Okay. And then I'm going to say file, print, select pages, and then I'm going to go save as PDFs, and then I'm going to say cards. I'm going to save that also to my desktop. Now, another way you could do this, you can duplicate this PDF, and then you can click on like this and click delete, click on that, click delete, click on this, and so on. I'm going to undo, edit, undo. You could also do that if you would like to. That also works. I'm just doing it, I guess you say, in just a different way. All right, and then this would be what I would already have printed off. Okay, and if you're wondering, yes, you could totally do this. Well, kind of. I'm not even going to say that. Okay, sorry. All right, so here I have both things. Now, I should have turned them when I did it. So let me turn it. See right here, I turned that card. I'm going to the next one. Actually, I can click both of these at the same time and turn them. All right, so now here I have my cards. Here are my cards I'm going to use for my center. X out that. Here is my cover. Now, for the cover, it's going to be need to be saved as, actually I wouldn't have used this one. I should have used a different cover, the one that gives the instructions for the students. But anyways, so it needs to be saved so that when we put it in Canvas, it needs to be a JPEG. So we're going to go to File, and then we're going to go to Export. We're going to change this right here to JPEG. And I always just click best because I figure best is best, and save. Now, again, this is just the cover that the students are going to be clicking on to get to the center. So that's why this is a JPEG and not a PDF. If you want to know what the difference between JPEGs and PDFs are, I always think JPEG is more like a clip image, or let me back up. PDF is more like, it's like a picture of your of something, of your document. You can't change anything on it. Same thing with the JPEG, but it just, I don't know, I guess I'm not explaining it very well. Anyways, there you go. I totally did not explain that at all. Okay, so let me go to right here. Okay, so now I am going to go to, let's see, let me back up just for, okay. So let's say I already have another thing here. Let's say this is the page I'm going to put it on. So I'm going to click Edit. I'm going to go down to where I want it. I'm going to go to Images, Upload New Image, choose File, and this is where I want to choose not my PDF, but I want to choose the JPEG. I probably could have, when I saved this, saved it, maybe wonder if I could have saved it as a JPEG. Anyways, so I want to do save as a JPEG. If I did it as a PDF, it would just come across as a file. It would just say the words falling into sentences cover dot PDF, and that's not what we want. We don't want a file. We want an actual picture. So I clicked on that. Now, and then click on Open. Decorative image. I highly, highly, highly think that that didn't make any sense, but you need to make sure and organize your things. So like for instance, in here I have center images, and I would have put it in center images, so at least it's somewhere that I can find it easily for the next year if I needed to. I'm going to click Upload. And then there it is. So that's just the picture. That's kind of like our button. So now I'm going to click on that. I'm going to go to Files. Close that. I'm going to upload new file. Choose File. And this is where I'm going to choose my cards. The falling into sentences cards. They're right there. The PDF cards. I'm going to click Open. Again, you're going to want to put them someplace in a folder. And by the way, you can't make folders while you are saving it. You have to make folders within files. Just FYI. Upload. All right, and then click Save. And voila! There you go. So there is your there are your cards inside of this button. I'm not gonna, I mean, I could click on it, but it's gonna make me, because the way I have my computer set up, it's gonna make me download it. I don't want to download it. So now it is just the way it was in the video. All right, so hopefully that makes sense. So just kind of as a recap, this is for centers. So on your page, you might want to try this, and that is to have a place for centers. And then, I don't know if I would get this detailed. You might want to, depending on how many. In there, you're going to have one center. You're going to make it into a PDF, the cards, and then the cover. The cards need to stay a PDF so that students can write on it with the writing tools on your iPad. I'm talking about iPad here. The cover needs to be converted, exported into a JPEG so that you can put that JPEG into your Canvas page, and then you're going to link the file that is the cards, that are the cards right here, to that image. All right, and then again, your students, all they will need to do is to go and get the answer sheet from like a file folder, or if maybe you could just pass it out. I don't know. I've done that before. There are certain things, like I'll teach a lesson. I'll say, okay, everyone needs to get on their iPad. They need to do this. And it ends up, it's kind of like a center type of thing. You're going to do this activity on a sheet of paper. All right, so that's what they do. And this is really nice too, because it's a lot less tech stuff for kids. You can do quizzes and all that, and I have done that with them. I just did a video, kind of a tour of my old page, and I will say, let me go over here to quizzes. I will say that for some of my lessons that I did during e-learning, here, like for instance this one, preview, I really just used all those same cards that I've had before and then made a quiz out of them. It takes a lot of time, but you know what? When you do it once, it's done forever. So that's kind of cool. But anyways, but that's another way that you can use those cards that you have. I could have totally taken each one of these cards. I can just show you real quick if you want to know. I could have taken each one of these cards, and I could have taken this. This is A. I could have done that. I could crop it. Okay, and then I could take this one. I mean, there's a lot more involved in that, but I could take this and put it into into that quiz and make a quiz using these cards. Or you could just type out what it says on there. I don't know. So anyways, that's how I use centers on my Canvas page, and I hope that's helpful. So that is it. Have a good day.